So good evening and welcome to the workshops given by CSC Providence. Tonight we'll explore the Passeport de prise de risque linguistique, so the linguistic risk passport. I would like to start the session with a prayer. Au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit, Amen. Seigneur Jésus, en tant que parents, nous devons faire face à différents défis tout au long de la vie de nos enfants. Prions pour les mères, prions pour les pères et tous ceux qui guident ces enfants, afin que Dieu les aide et les accompagne dans cette si belle mission qui leur a été confiée. Amen. We will follow with land recognition. Nous tenons à reconnaître l'histoire du territoire traditionnel sur lequel le Conseil scolaire catholique Providence dessert ses élèves. C'est avec respect que nous reconnaissons qu'à l'arrivée des Européens, les peuples autochtones étaient déjà sur ces terres. Nous voulons reconnaître les personnes qui utilisent ces terres depuis des millénaires ainsi que leurs descendants. Okay. So at the beginning of the year, we're just going to jump right into it. At the beginning of the year, in September, there was a letter that was sent out to all families. It was similar to this one. It could be that you didn't receive this letter. It could be that the school handled it differently and they may have put it in their calendar or maybe on their Facebook or Twitter, or maybe the passport hasn't yet been launched in school. So my colleague has just put the letter in the chat. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, you can have a look at it. And it's self-explanatory. It introduces the passport. I do have a little video that when we did launch the passport, we'll have a listen to it. It'll just be a few minutes. I will close my mic because the last session it did have a lot of reverberation. So I'll close my mic and then we'll play the video.
Salut les élèves du CSC Providence! Êtes-vous prêts à partir en aventure afin de découvrir toutes les façons dont vous pouvez utiliser et améliorer votre français? Je m'appelle. Je vous accompagnerai lors de cette belle aventure linguistique que vous entreprenez. Vous pouvez me retrouver dans le corridor de votre école, sur votre signet et sur un aimant que vous pouvez placer à un endroit pour vous rappeler de continuer à vivre des situations amusantes en français, soit à l'école, à la maison ou dans votre communauté. Voici votre passeport de prise de risque linguistique.
Qu'est-ce qu'un risque linguistique?
Ah, bonne question. C'est assez simple. Prendre un risque, c'est lorsque vous essayez de faire quelque chose de nouveau, même si vous n'êtes pas certain de réussir. Un risque linguistique, c'est quand vous choisissez d'essayer de votre mieux pour partager une idée en français, même si parfois c'est plus facile dans une autre langue. Voici un exemple. Vous êtes dans la cour d'école avec vos amis et vous choisissez comme groupe de continuer votre jeu en français, même si un enseignant ne peut pas vous entendre. Un exemple de prise de risque linguistique à la maison serait de regarder la télévision en français au lieu de regarder une émission dans une autre langue. Je vous encourage à essayer de parler plus souvent en français, même si ça pourrait vous gêner ou que c'est une situation où vous n'avez pas l'habitude de parler cette langue. C'est cela, prendre un risque linguistique. Dans ce passeport, vous pouvez documenter vos efforts. Chaque fois que vous prenez un risque linguistique, vous cochez une petite case dans votre passeport. Par exemple, si vous visionnez un film en français, vous pouvez cocher la case comme ceci. Lorsque vous avez réussi à faire 10 risques linguistiques, vous recevrez un autocollant pour votre passeport. Votre objectif est de compléter le parcours et devenir un preneur de risque du français.
Preneur de risque?
Un preneur de risque est quelqu'un qui a hâte d'utiliser le français partout, à l'école comme à l'extérieur de l'école, qui n'a pas peur de faire des erreurs C'est naturel d'en faire et normal quand on pratique une nouvelle langue. Va essayer d'expliquer avec d'autres mots lorsqu'il ne connaît pas un mot en français. Aussi, quelqu'un qui comprend que prendre des risques lui permet d'augmenter sa confiance.
Alors, si je comprends bien, plus de risques égale plus de talent et plus de confiance en soi.
Tout à fait, vous avez bien compris. Prenez bien soin de votre passeport, protégez-le et surtout ne le perdez pas. Je vous invite à inscrire votre nom dans votre passeport tout de suite.
Quand est-ce qu'on commence?
Vous commencez dès aujourd'hui. Bon parcours. Allez-y et prenez le plus de risques possible parmi la liste proposée dans ce passeport. Avec la permission de vos parents, partagez vos succès sur les médias sociaux avec le mot-clic suivant. Bonne journée les élèves du CSC Providence.
So I'm not sure if the subtitles were too small to see, but in the information letter, you will see that the video does have subtitles. The video is in French. However, everything was translated in English. Okay. So as you saw, the robot did not have a name. So there was a contest that was launched across the board to name the robot. So robot has a name now. It was a grade 2 class from L'École Saint-Michel that gave him its name. His name is Bomo. So Bomo Robo Bomo. So it's official. He has a name. It has a name. It's Bomo. Did you know? So the passport. Why do we have a passport? Why have we decided to launch this initiative to have a passport? Well, there are different ways that different activities that are proposed in reading and writing and oral communication that gives your child the choice to speak in French, all the while building their confidence and showing a positive attitude towards French language. The passport will be used all year round and it will be used for the next 3 years. So we'll get into the passports in a few minutes, but just a couple tidbits based on the passport. What is a linguistic risk? A risk. Okay, a risk is something that we do because we want to build confidence or something of that sort. So a linguistic risk is essentially that we're offering different occasions, opportunities for your children to take these risks, linguistic risks, to develop their confidence in speaking French. It pretty much is based on linguistic insecurity. When we're learning a different language, another language, we tend to hesitate to speak that language because we might not always have the words, we might have a different accent. We're just not confident. So a linguistic risk helps develop that confidence so that they feel able to express themselves with confidence in different contexts. So we're building that confidence in them with your help, obviously. We always say, you got this. Well, we have this. We have it at school. We have it at home. So if we encourage, we put value on what they're doing, your child's doing, then we should be building their confidence. So at the beginning of when the passport was launched, those that are using the passport, the beginning, we want to obviously measure the impact of the passport. Therefore, there are 2 self-assessments that'll be done, one at the beginning and one at the end of the passport, to see whether they've increased their confidence if they speak more in community, different settings where they didn't at the beginning of the passport, if they're participating more in activities in French. So just a little measuring tool just to see, and that they can see too that, hey, 3 years, it was fun and I feel more confident. The passport themselves, We have 4 different passports: JK Senior K, grade 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and the Welcome One. And Welcome One is for our newcomer students. All passports have the same content, but the risks are different, slightly different, just based on their abilities and their interests and all that. So we'll just have a look at the grade 1 to 3 passport. So as our passport, our traveling passport, this is a little passport also. So it's a document here. So the pages are one underneath the other, but the passport itself is side by side. Okay, it was an initiative that was launched. We had test pilot in a couple of our schools with the University of Ottawa, and we thought, perfect initiative. So we launched it board wide. A little introduction of the passport. BOMO is introducing it. The passport itself, where we've asked the students to write their name, to really take pride in their passport, what grade are you in, school, and then to sign their passport, followed by explaining to them what a risk is, risk taking, and then to encourage them. What are we encouraging them to do? We have their profile too, of somebody that is taking a risk. A risk taker is what? So what are the characteristics? So might have an accent, but that's okay. That's what makes us unique. Might make errors, and that's okay too. It's completely natural. It's normal when we're learning a new language. And then we also want to put emphasis and value and acknowledge that there's not only French. We might speak French, we might speak English. We are also speaking other languages. So we want to highlight that too and say, hey, you're learning more than one language. So they can note what other language that they speak. Right, and we continue with the self-assessment tool. And then a couple tidbits on how to fill it out. So just a little, the instructions on how. So there are certain risks. We'll see them shortly. And then they can check off the risks. They can do that risk more than once. There are a couple different lines at the end. There we go. For the ones that, if they've done a risk, if they've accomplished a linguistic risk that isn't noted, then they can add their own. So we want them to really use it and to make it their own. Some of the risks. Risks anytime, anywhere, simple. So a couple example of risks would be instead of singing happy birthday, Bun Fate. Easy as singing Bun Fate. When you go to the library to take out a French book. When if siblings, they might be in an older grade, they might be in a younger grade, to have the siblings speak in French. Have French night. As a parent, it'd be good to learn a couple words too. It's the little effort, but it has the most impact. What else can we say? In the car, French radio station, maybe a podcast, a movie, renting a movie, or downloading a movie in French, a French movie. If they see their friends in the community, if they're playing with their friends at home, in French. If you have older kids, if they're sending a text in French, I don't know if we still do that, but answering the telephone, speaking on the telephone in French. So they're little risks that we can do that are simple and that are attainable. So most students are motivated with a little something. So our little something is the stickers. So for every 10 risks that are taken, the students are given a sticker. So just like we're climbing a mountain, it would be the same thing. We want to get to the summit. We want to get to the peak of the mountain. The stickers are given at school, but it doesn't mean that at home you can't encourage your child for having done 10 linguistic risks. It's encouraged home and school too. So if your child does not bring their passport home, that's okay. Sometimes we don't want them to get lost, so they might stay at school. So you can write down the linguistic, or your child can write down their risk that they've taken in their agenda, which travels from home to school, and it can be noted in their little passport. At school, it could be that you've seen, if you are part of the school Twitter or Facebook page, that some of the schools have started to post. We have big cutouts of BOMO throughout the school with little reminders. Did you take a risk today? Or you can do it. And he travels throughout the school, and we see that we have principals, we have VPs that are engaged in their the passport too. We see that the children are motivated too. So these are children that have potentially done 10 or 20 risks, and we want to say, hey, good for you. So we want to motivate them and show that it's being done. The family, that's you. Number one, you're the number one educator. School comes second, parents come first. So we need to work together, and that to be allies. And I'm pretty sure that started when you chose to register your child in a French language school. At that point, school and home became allies and been working together. And so it's by working together that we'll see that the child will develop that confidence, that we see that it's a additive bilingualism, so that we're learning, they're developing, your child's developing their competence, their skills in both languages at the same time. It's not one that's more important than the other. We're working on both of them at the same time. So it's really working in that partnership with the school and having the passport travel back and forth if that's possible. If not, just encouraging, what have we done? What risk have we done? And just having that discussion and seeing the importance of the passport at school and at home. And a few goodies that were sent home. The bookmark, which might still be at school, so they might be using their bookmark, and a magnet. The magnet was a little a wink towards a reminder of, okay, it's on the fridge. It might be elsewhere in the house, but a reminder of, hey, have you taken taken a risk today or this weekend? As a family, if they have siblings, or if you have family that come to visit, BOMO is reminding us, maybe this would be a great time to explore a couple different risks. So we have a couple of things to remind us that we're taking risks, linguistic risks at home and in the community. And then to promote the passport, if you want to show how proud your child is when they're doing these risks, it would be great to have some of the pictures of our little cocos doing these little the activities. So if you do take a picture and you'd like to post it on social media, your school social media, or wherever, the hashtag is #RoboFranco-CSC it would be great to see them engaged in these activities and proudly showing what they're doing. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, we're going to come to the questions now. If you wouldn't mind, just filling out the questionnaire to see, to give us feedback on the presentation tonight. If you have any questions or whatever else not, that you can note it there too. And finally, my contacts are there. So if you have any questions after this or whenever, please note my email and then reach out anytime. I'm always available to answer any questions. Okay, I will change. I will give you the permissions. Okay. So anytime, if you have any questions at any time, you reach out and we'll do our best I'll do my best to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, now would be the time. If you want to open up your cameras, if you want to ask any questions, we're here for the next few minutes to answer your questions.
Hi, I have a question. Sorry.
Yes.
So I kind of tuned in and out quite a bit because my my baby just woke up and I had to go like soothe him. But
No worries.
um, we actually joined our school like 2 months late. So I
Okay.
don't know. I think I may have missed this, but this was given to the students at the beginning of the school year. Is that what it was?
So it may
The
have
passport?
been there. I know there are a few schools that have yet to launch it. The
Oh,
best.
okay.
So it might be that the school has not launched it, and if that's the case, um, they haven't, and then it'll be done at some point this year. However, it would be a good idea just to ask because
Yeah.
they do have extra passports. So
Okay.
if you came in a little bit later, if you transferred schools,
Yes.
then it would be something to ask your classroom or your child's teacher or even the principal.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so
And
much.
it's it's le passeport de prise de risque linguistique, and
Yeah.
so whatever grade your child is in, they will have a passport.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, if there aren't any other questions, thank you again for participating, and I will wish you a good evening.